मेरी जिंदगी सवारी मुझको गले लगा के बैठा दिया फलक पे मुझे खाक से उठा के। मेरी जिंदगी सवारी मुझको गले लगा के बैठा दिया फलक पे मुझे खाक से उठा के। यारा तेरी यारी को मैंने तो खुदा माना, याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना। तेरे जैसा यार कहाँ ऐसा याराना। मेरे दिल की ये दुआ है कभी दूर तू न जाए, तेरे बिना हो जीना वो दिल कभी ना आए। मेरे दिल की ये दुआ है कभी दूर तू न जाए, तेरे बिना हो जीना वो दिल कभी ना आए। तेरे संग जीना यहाँ तेरे संग मर जाना, याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना। तेरे जैसा यार कहाँ ऐसा याराना।
कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पितु मात स्वामी सखा हमारे, पितु मात स्वामी सखा हमारे। नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ठाकुर हमारे प्राणों से प्यारे, तुम हो हमारे हम हैं तुम्हारे। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। गैया चरैया माखन चुरैया, गैया चरैया माखन चुरैया। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। गोविंद मेरो है, गोपाल मेरो है, गोविंद मेरो है, गोपाल मेरो है, श्री बांके बिहारी नंदलाल मेरो है। गोविंद मेरो है, गोपाल मेरो है, श्री बांके बिहारी नंदलाल मेरो है। गोविंद मेरो है, गोपाल मेरो है, गोविंद मेरो है, गोपाल मेरो है, श्री बांके बिहारी नंदलाल मेरो है। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। तुमसे है धरती, तुमसे है अंबर, अग्नि पवन और सातों समंदर, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल।
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that mantra, you please be seated and let us give Devan this tribute. For Devan is not an ordinary human being. He was a saint, an angel in the earth. And I think his funeral service will be a very successful one, and one in which we will never forget. So now I call the chairman, and a little later on I will do a special song.
Sitaram, Sairam, Assalamu alaikum, good morning everyone. It is with a solemn heart that I wish everyone greetings this morning as we gather to celebrate the life of our beloved son, brother, friend, relative, angel at heart, Devan Mahadeo. Today we do have a relatively full program because, as you know, Devan has touched everyone's life. We will start with remarks from a number of affiliated organizations that Devan were in, and we will kick off with the ceremonial rites at about 9 a.m. this morning. To begin this morning's program, we thought it was fitting, given Devan's love for his faith, he would volunteer his time at any time once he hears there's some religious activity to take place. So we thought it fitting to kick off this morning's celebration of Devan's life with the reading of the Gita Dhyanam. Miss Lydia Sumai will lead us in this reading.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Dhyanam Om Partaya Pratibhuritam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Puranamunina Madhe Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshaniim Bhagavatim Asharashadhyayanim Amba Tvamanusandharami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadvaishanim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Yata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vaitraika Panaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrtaruhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopala Nandanaha Parto Vasta Sudhir Bhukta Dugdam Gitamritam Mahata Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Charunamardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishma Drona Tata Jaya Chata Jala Gandhaya Nilotpala Shalya Grahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashvatthama Vikarna Gora Makara Duryodhana Vartani Sutirna Kalupanda Vairananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Parasaryavacha Sarojamamalam Gita Gandotakam Jnana Kayanaka Kesaram Harikata Samborena Boritam Loke Sajjana Shatparera Haraha Pepiyamanam Mura Burya Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Parvam Shinam Shriyase Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Giram Yad Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Survanti Devyaistave Vede Sangha Parakramo Parishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Gayanti Yam Samaga Gayanti Yam Samaga Hari Om. Thank you.
Next up in this morning's celebration of Devan Mahadeo, we have remarks from the representative of an organization that Devan was born into. From birth, he was affiliated with the Bluebirds Sports and Cultural Organization. And in Devan's heart, there was no difference between Devan, the name Devan, and the organization Bluebirds Sports and Cultural Organization. I'd like to welcome one of the persons with whom Devan served most of his years in the Bluebirds official executive, Mr. Gautam Maharaj, to bring remarks on behalf of the Bluebirds Sports and Cultural Organization.
Thank you very much, Randy Bihariji, our well-trusted treasurer at the organization. Sitaram, Ramnam Satyahe, Hari Om, good day. I firstly would like to thank those who have organized the small slice this morning at the Bluebirds. I think it is our president, Andy Haripasad, and Rolly and Sarah and Randy and all the aunties and so on and uncles who would have arranged, and the family who would have allowed for that time, which was that very special time on this day, the Antyeshti Sanskar of Devan, for the body to come to the Bluebirds. It was certainly a moment that we will keep in our hearts forever. As soon as the body arrived, the rains came, and we know the significance of that in our culture. It certainly is a blessing, and it shows his rooting in Bluebirds. For those who are not from the community, Bluebird Sports and Cultural Organization is the community organization here, and families are well knit into it. The Mahadeo family is certainly one of the bedrock families also. Devan's mom, Raji Mahadeo, would have served as secretary for over 15 years, and in many other positions, being a servant to the community. And his dad, Uncle Kuku, as we know him, has always been there for us. Our main fundraiser is the pepperoni sales at the Nagar. Every year you can count on him for constructing the booth. Every yagna he's there, giving advice and handing over to the younger ones all of what he had learned along the way. I set that context because it is very easy for you to understand now when people are in a family, or when a child is grown up in a family that understands such a profound aspect and attribute as service, or sewa as we call it, that Devan would have been surrounded within this family by his parents and his brother Naresh and so on. It was very easy for him to take the role that he took up, which he has left a shining light, as you can see in all of the comments that you are reading on social media and you're hearing. And even here you can feel the spirit of people so close and connected to all that he has done, which has been exemplary and really with excellence. I recall when Swamiji attended the funeral of our dear Bhai Andrew next door, he spoke of, from birth to death, well, before birth in Sanatan Dharma and even after death, there are so many samskars inundated between one's life. And on this day, we feel so much for the deceased. And a bit of advice that he had given that I had taken from then onwards is that what we can do also while we share and we feel the pain is that we take a page from the book of the deceased, so that we admire and adore him so much that we try, at least in some little way, to live one aspect of how he has lived. Because undoubtedly, he has left a legacy in the positive attributes that he displayed. So, quickly we'll just look at his name Devan and ascribe to each one of the letters something that he has displayed throughout. D, he loved Ramlila, and he played the role of Dashrath Maharaji at some point in time. One attribute which Dashrath displayed clearly is the attribute of keeping his word. Your word is your bond, and Devan displayed that throughout. If he says, we're going to play football, he's also a member actively of the football team here. The grass will be cut. Maybe a farmer will come the day before, but he will go on his own. And if he says he's preparing the field, he will take a waka, and if he has to put on a headlight, he will ensure it is done. People could have depended on him. Dependability was his hallmark. E, enthusiasm. Whatever he did it with enthusiasm and love. No lackluster approach. In the Nagar, he would do the cleanup. He headed a team called the cleanup crew. And that crew would start after the cooking is finished, which is after 12. Everybody is busy to come home because you're tired. Devan will take his wagon and his crew, and that flour, when it falls on the ground, that oil, it comes hard like concrete. And he would clean that up, and you could count the next day you go. You are sure it is clean. With enthusiasm, he played the role of Jatayu. He's known as Jatayu. Everyone came every year to see him fly on the cable, and he had this beautiful costume with the wings and so on. And with enthusiasm, he would do that every year. The attribute of Jatayu is that Jatayu gave his own life to fight evil doing. When Ravana was moving with Sita in the air, Jatayu expended his own life. What a message in that. There's no doubt Devan has lived like that. Anybody need anything? We just completed Garden of Values camp. Auntie Judy needed soil and earthworms and all of that. Devan is there with enthusiasm. V, in Ramlinga, Vivishan. Vivishan message is that he stood up to his own brother Rawan to uphold dharma, right action. In football, if we're not sure of a goal, and many times it might be with me, the squabble is there. I say it's score, Devan say it's score. People would have looked at Devan's final submission as the answer. Right? If they ask me and his mind says, I say, it's score, man. Devan will look at it and he say, hey, Glenn, you know it has score. This one has score. The whole team will say, right, we're going into what Devan say. Yeah? A, I see the army is outside. He functioned as a team player, just as an army. Everybody contributes a little bit. You know, he did his bit without overpowering, without overshadowing, without putting all of this ego. He did his bit silently, all over, just like an army would work. In our pledge, we say, we stand as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against false values and low tendencies. It is one of the pledge we use. He lived by that. And N, like Narad Muni, he would connect everybody. He's the communications man around here and far out certainly, globally. I see the Special Olympics team is here. I can't list all of the places he would come and he would share with us. I know he won gold in 2015 in Greece, but he would tell us how he went to Japan and all the other areas. He traveled. He was an ambassador for this area. So my message is small and simple. Take one page from Devan's book and let's live it, and that I think would be the most fitting tribute to Devan. On behalf of the organization, I want to say to the family that this organization stands by you, definitely. We will ensure that what is missing in Devan's absence, we make it up. And I'm sure I speak for every member of this community when I say that. Ram Nam Satya Hai.
Thank you, Mr. Gautam Maharaj. Next up on the program, we do have remarks from a beloved school to which Devan attended. I do apologize. As we know, today our hearts are pouring out a little bit, and the folks have asked to be excused. So on behalf of Devan, okay, I'm seeing the representative saying he's okay to come in. So I'd like to get the representative from the Lady Hochoy School in Pinal to give some remarks. I believe it's Mr. Russell Mohan.
Good morning, everyone. This morning is not an easy morning for us at Lady Hochoy. Today I am here to bid farewell to a son of our soil. Excuse me. Today we are here to say farewell to a boy who has turned man and has decided to leave us. Devan came to us a long time ago in our school as a very frail and small child. And he was nurtured and very protected by the teachers there. The person who took him in was a lady named Miss Champa Samaru. And she accepted him into our school to be one of our students there. And his teacher, Mrs. Sheila Bukal, was his first teacher in the school. And of course, they had a special interest because his mother gave very, very strict instructions. She said, don't let my child play in the sun because he is going to overheat and it is not good for him at all. So one day I came out and I saw him and I looked at his face and he was very sad and he said, "Sir, I want to play." I want to go and play with them children outside there. And I said to him, well, go ahead and play. And then his miss would run out the staff room and said, so he cannot play at all. He cannot play. The mother left instructions for him not to play. But I stole him on a couple of occasions and took him behind the school. And I sent him in the sun to stand up for 5 minutes. And we would do this customarily every time. You know, and eventually I told him to go and play and don't let your miss see. So we would play behind the school and he started to run. And then he got the football and he would do keep-ups. Of course, he was better than me at it. You know, and then Miss Indrani was there. She's here this morning. And she said, listen, I want to take him to Special Olympics. And we would train really, really hard. And then he decided one day he was so hot. I said, throw some water behind your neck, boy, so you could, you know, you'll be able to play properly. And then he wet the jersey. And he decided that he couldn't, the jersey cooled him down all the time because our skin regulates our body temperatures, you know. So now he had a skin that was always wet, the jersey. And he played and he trained hard. And then I started to take him to Curep to play football from Special Olympics. They would have had his training there down in Curep. So we would go with a few friends and he would learn football and then he would go with Miss Indrani and we taught him. And one thing about it is that at Lady Ho Choi School, we never saw a difference. You know, in society, when he came to us, he was a victim of being different. And people saw him and flinched. We never flinched at our students. You know, and of course, one day, there was this lady, and she looked at him and she twisted her face because she didn't know how to express, and people don't know how to express themselves sometimes. And he looked at me and he said, so you see how that lady do? I said, what? He said, so you see that? I said, yeah, what is it? And he said, she looked at me funny. I said, well, you will always have to experience this in your life. So you have to be strong and you have to be resilient. And with that, he grew. And he grew in his personality. He had a strong character. And that character went on and transferred into his leadership qualities. Because he was such a good athlete and a good student, he went on and on. He went and he excelled in floor hockey. He had excellent football skills. And he was able to assist and train all of the children in the school. Of course, he would team up with me and we would have a really rough and hard game with everybody else. When we went to Special Olympics, Devan was a dorm master. He would take care of all the little ones, you know, and even last Monday when I spoke to him, I think I was the last person to speak to him on the phone. He said, Sue, I am not well, and I don't want you to come and see me. Remember me playing football and running in the field. Yeah, so his qualities are remarkable, were remarkable. His character was impeccable. He is a leader. He was a leader in our school. His memories would remain in our school. When every time the Pui would blossom, everybody should know that Devan Mahadeo planted the Pui together with his friends in front of the school, and they are now big trees. You know, his craftsmanship went on in all of our Christmas decorations. His profound goodness is unmatched. And this morning, from the students, from the ancillary staff, from the staff, and from myself, I wish him farewell. and good luck in his journey. And I know that he is somewhere playing football and running and looking at us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Mohan. Next, I'd like to call upon a representative from the Special Olympics Caribbean Council. I believe her name is Miss Kelly Sims. Just asking Miss Kelly Sims to make her way to the podium, please.
Good morning, everybody. I got this message for this morning with Caribbean Council application on Trinidad and Tobago. Devan Mahadeo joined Special Olympics Trinidad and Tobago in 1996 and has worked actively over these 27 years in the field of the floor hockey, football, and cricket. And has worn many hats. He has been on the SOTT boards for 7 years serving as the athlete representative. He demonstrated the ability and commitment to be a spokesperson for his peers and the movement. Devan also served on the SOTT Board's Education, Discipline, and the technical committees. Devan won a bronze medal floor hockey at the 2030 Winter Games in Korea, silver medals in football at the 2003 Summer Games in Ireland and the 2007 Games in China. He also won a gold medal in floor football at the 2015 Summer Games in Los Angeles, California. Devan's avid love for sports has led him to also serve as an assistant coach in the sports of floor hockey and football. He has also excelled in the sports of cricket and local national games and was greatly looking forward to introducing cricket as a sport in Special Olympics as part of our Caribbean Games. Devan was unanimously elected as first leader on the newly formed Special Olympics Caribbean Athletes Leadership Council in early 2022. He was very proud that his logo design was chosen to symbolize that council and was happy to be part of this life-changing movement. His mission was to strive to bring positive change to the lives of athletes throughout the Caribbean to the best of his ability. Devan was a very strong-willed and determined person and sports leader on the Caribbean Council. He spoke passionately about creating more opportunities for athletes with IDD in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. He will not shy away from a challenge and remain positive despite the obstacles which encouraged many of the council members to truly believe that they were much stronger than they originally thought. Devan enjoyed spending quality time with his family and friends and helping out at the cultural events in his community. He also liked dogs and loved to play sports. Devan will be truly missed, but his exploits will live on us that has opened the doors for the athletes with IDD in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. SO Caribbean and the Caribbean Athlete Leadership Council wish to extend heartfelt condolences to the Vance family. May his son travel quickly to the next destination. And thank you again.
Thank you to the representative of the Special Olympics Caribbean Council, Ms. Kelly Simmons. Next up, again, we know Devan's Special Olympics love continues, and so we do have a representative from the Special Olympics of Trinidad and Tobago, Miss Candila Bermond. I welcome Miss Bermond to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to see so many of you here this morning for this, what can I say, for Devan. He will truly be missed, and okay, I will continue. Many people know the meaning of strength, but few knew the underlying meaning, which is the power to have an effect. If there could be one word to describe Devan, it would be strength. Devan was also a student at the Lady Hochoy School in Pinal. Devan's effervescence was contagious. You could not be around him without smiling or without his aura having an effect on you. Not only did he inspire his classmates, teammates, teachers, and friends, but also his colleagues within the Special Olympics Trinidad and Tobago fraternity. Devan was a member of the board of directors for many years, but not just any member. He was the athlete representative, and he always ensured to keep his fellow athletes' best interests at heart. Not too long ago, Devan was also appointed as TNT's representative on the first Caribbean Athlete Leadership Council, taking on the responsibility of sport development, an accomplishment that makes us all so proud. Devan was outspoken, generous, very respectful, and he was always interested in hearing what others had to say. He also loved capturing memories and moments, which he made sure to do on all of the team trips made or activities held, whether locally, regionally, or internationally. Thanks to Devan, many of us have lasting memories, both with him as well as the moments he captured of us individually through photos and videos. We will undoubtedly cherish and remember all of these for our lifetime. Devan was a sportsman in the true sense of the word, and he was gifted in several areas. Devan played cricket, floor hockey, football, and floorball, winning many gold, silver, and bronze medals at local and world games. He always had words of inspiration for his teammates, especially when spirits fell low. Devan always represented his country to the best of his ability everywhere he went. He truly flew that national flag high and very proudly. He made all of us proud of the Special Olympics Trinidad and Tobago. But more importantly, he made himself and his family proud. We will remember Devan forever in our hearts and minds as the loving, generous, strong individual that he was. We have lost a great soul. Thank you for everything, Devan. Thank you for being you, and thank you for gracing us with your presence. We thank God that we were allowed to be a part of your life and you a part of ours. We also thank his family for lending him to us. We love you forever and always. Rest in eternal peace, Devan.
Thank you, Miss Beaumont. We are supposed to start off the ceremonial rites at this point in time, and we are waiting the arrival of Pandit. And so what I would do is open the floor. I'll ask that members keep it brief, 2 minutes, until the arrival of the Pandit, where I will cordially stop remarks to allow sufficient time for the ceremonial rites. I do apologize in advance. The first member I'll kick off with is Roli Maharaj, who's asked to give very brief remarks. So welcoming Ashutosh to represent Roli actually. Apologies, Ashutosh Maharaj.
Sitaram. Today is one of the saddest days in life. We all knew Devan to be one of the greatest souls to live. Devan was the 1 in a million person that was perfect. Whether you went to school with him for 12 years or met him for 1 hour, he had the greatest impact. Even in the saddest time, he would make you happy in every way possible. Devan was the type of person that made the world a better place. From fear to public speaking and acting in Ram Leela to being a gentleman, he has helped me. He helped me to see the world as hopes, dreams, morality, and positive in others. He inspired me to take my first flight, and that hard work and practice always pays off. He inspired me to keep on fighting even when there wasn't a way possible. He would go out of his way to help others, and you never heard about it because he was a humble and respectful person. Without a person like Devan in your life, it couldn't have been lived. Devan has lived his life great, even with the trials, and he overcome them. Knowing Devan, I am proud and thankful and grateful to say that I know Devan Mahadeo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashutosh. Apologies. Next up, we have the previous MP for this area and a relative of the family to give a few remarks. So I'll ask Mr. Govindra, hopefully I did the name correctly, to come to the podium, please.
Sitaram, everyone. Today is indeed a very sad day for so many of us who have known Devan for many years, and we have always known him as a very vibrant, energetic, full of life person. No one would have thought that he had any disability whatsoever. He was the joy of the family. Whenever there were functions within the families, he was always there, full of life, energetic, moving around. There was a party, he was the life of the party. He will surely be missed by all. He was such a tremendous, remarkable person. Words cannot really describe the remarkable person he was. It's quite evident with the turnout for this funeral how popular he was amongst everyone. I know it is an extremely hard day for his mom and dad, his sibling, and all the immediate members of family, cousins and whatever. But we must remember the good times we had with Devan, and we will live with that memory of the way he conducted his life. And although he would have lived for just 38 years physically, I would want to say that Devan lived 100 years, because there are many of us who will live for 100 years but not live the life that Devan lived for his short time on this earth. May he be granted eternal peace, may the good Lord keeps him close to him, and give the family the strength and courage to overcome this grief. I know it will be difficult, but I pray to God that we can only remember the good times and forget about the sad times with Devan. Sitaram, God bless all of us.
Thank you, sir, for your remarks. Next up, we have a special message to Uncle Kuku and Auntie Raji from no other than Roli Maharaj. So, briefly sharing a remark.
Sitaram and good day, everyone. I would have to cut what I plan to say just to bring this brief message to Auntie Raji, Uncle Kuku, and, as we know, Uncle Nari. Today, the task you have given me is a hard one for me and my family, as you have fulfilled your karmic actions and you have allowed your parents to repay their karmic debt, freeing them of all past and present karma, as your soul leaves this material world to enter the heavenly abode, which is so prepared for you. I say that your instructions not to cry may not be carried out. But I can assure you the instructions to take care of your mommy and daddy, as you said it in your own words, and Nari, would be done by myself as you asked, by Auntie Cindy as you asked, and Ashtosh and Nandika. Most of all who don't know me, I am Rolly. I live across the road from Devan. And both my kids have grown up with Devan. So he left that message with us. So Uncle Kuku, Auntie Raji, and Uncle Nari, those instructions would be carried out. And I know that your So the Pandit has arrived and Randy will be taking over shortly. And to Uncle Kuku, Auntie Raji, and Uncle Nari, I know your pain because I have went through this 3 times with my kids. And as the song said when Devan was coming this morning, in the English version, I didn't think in order to live, I would have to face this misery. I didn't think to smile, I would have to incur the debt of smiling. So please continue to look over us. Thank you. Whilst Randy is making his way, I would like to thank the motorcycle rider, PC Mohammed of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and Sergeant Hussein and Party of the Municipal Police, who took their day off today to support the Mahadeo family and all other persons respectively. Thank you.
While Pandit prepares the members to begin the ceremonial rites, I kindly ask Vida, a close friend and relative, to give a very brief remark.
Good morning to all. I didn't prepare anything this morning, but I had to say something. Devan is my cousin. We grew up together, and on behalf of all of our cousins, the 80s crew was only a clique of 12 of us, including Devan. It was Marsha, Donna, Ravi, Nari, Narvin, Brian, Lisi, Cindy, myself, Sasha, and Sarah. We were a little group back then, and we really loved our cousin Devan. Although he was shunned by many, we loved him. Devan, you will be truly missed by all. And you know, we are happy, as Sasha reminded me last night and said, she's so proud to see our little clique grew so big. He had so much friends. From the 12 of us, he has more than 12,000 friends now. So we are happy to see that he was loved more than just our little group. We love you very much, Devan. And on behalf of the cousins, after that 12 grew more and more cousins in the 90s. And we want to say it kept growing and growing, and we all love you the same, Devan. Devan, we will miss you a lot. We fondly call you Reds. We call you Reds. Devan, we love you. As your last words to me, we said together, I love you and bye-bye, Devan. As we say bye today, we want to say we will miss you. And on behalf of the cousins, the Mahadeos, the Govind Prasad, the Rams, the Bags, the Bridgelals, everyone else, we love you and we appreciate you, and we were proud to be your cousins. Thank you.
Thank you, Vida. As said, today our heart hurts, and so we apologize for the tears flowing as well. With that, I would like to say Sitaram to Pandit Rajendra Maharaj, our beloved spiritual leader for many years at the Bluebirds Sports and Cultural Organization, who will lead us in the ceremonial rites for Devan Mahadeo. Pandit.
प्रेम से बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Sitaram, we join together this morning in the Antim Sanskar, the last rites of the deceased Devan Mahadeo. Let me take this opportunity to extend to Devan's parents and to the family and to all acquaintances my sincerest condolences on Devan's passing. What can we do for Devan this morning? What can we give to him? Of what assistance can we be to Devan? The greatest gift that we can give to him, my dear friends, is to pray on his behalf. We have come from Lord Krishna, and unto him one day we too shall have to return to that supreme Paramatma, that most benevolent Lord Krishna Bhagwan. And so today we entrust our beloved brother and friend and devotee Devan in a safe and secure embrace of Lord Krishna. We know that Bhagavan Krishna is going to accept him into his divine embrace. May you, Lord, safeguard and shelter him in his journey onwards into Yamlok. As we begin our ceremony, I invite you to stand as we pray On behalf of Devan, we pray to that Supreme Paramatma, Shri Krishna Bhagavan. Hari Om Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Shri Govindaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangulam gayate girim yat kripatamaham vande paramanandam madhavam achyutam keshavam ramanarayanam krishna damodaram vasudevam harim shridharam madhavam gopika vallabham जानकी नायकम रामचंद्रम भजे जानकी नायकम रामचंद्रम भजे अच्युतम केशवम सत्यभामाधवम माधवम श्रीधरम राधिकाराधितम इंदिरा मंदिरम चेतसा सुंदरम देवकी नंदनम नंदनम संदहे देवकी नंदनम नंदनम संदहे विष्णवे जिष्णवे शंखिने चक्रिणे रुक्मिणी रागनी जानकी जानये वल्लभी वल्लभा यादचित यात्मने कंसवीर वंशिनी वंशिने ते नमः अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरिं श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्रं भजे जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्रं भजे बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Take your seats. Offer chandan for him first. Forehead first, at both ears, under the chin. Touch hands, join hands. Shri Khanda Chandanam Divyam Gandhadyam Sumanoharam Chandanam Maya Diyate Tavo Patishtatam. Close it right here next to it. Of the essence, spirit over the whole body. Om Gandham Grahana Devasya Gandhadanam Maya Diyate Tavo Patishtatam. Is it right here? Offer the mala. Malyadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Maya Diyate Tavo Patishtatam. 5 times. Yam dwari mahaghori andhini samasmatam deepadanam maya diyate tavo patishtatam. Pinda. Adhyamuk gotrasya amuk pretasya pratham pindadanam pitradevta devanannamasya pratham pindadevta maya diyate tavo patishtatam. Bow to it. Shri Krishna Arpanam. Put it in his right hand. You have the 5 pieces of gold there. So Sonadan is given at the time of death. Sonadan is a gift of gold. We put a tulsi leaf for that as well. When the gift of gold is offered upon the body of the deceased, then whatever obstacles and so on may lie in his pathway ahead, we pray for removal of these. Hari Om Adhyamuk Gotrasya Muk Pretasya Sonadanam Maya Diyate Tavo Patishtatam. Say Krishna Arpanam. Offer the first piece on his mouth. And offer the tulsi leaf there on the mouth as well. Tulsi Patram Maya Diyati Tavu Patishtatam. Both nostrils. Both eyes. Bow. Stand one side. Next. Of a chandan. By both ears, by both ears, under the chin. Shrikhanda Chandanam Divyam Gandhajam Sumanoharam Chandanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam, for the essence. Gandham Grahana Devasya Gandhadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam, Mala. Malyadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Yam Dware Mahaghore Andhini Samashmatam Deepadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Bow. Stand on one side. Next. Of a chandan. Om Shrikhanda Chandanam Divyam. Same spot. Gandhadyam Sumanoharam Chandanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Right, offer the essence. Gandhadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Offer the mala. Malyadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Yam Dware Mahaghore Andhini Samashvatam Deepadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Next, Upachandan. Shrikhanda Chandanam Divyam Gandhadyam Sumanoharam Chandanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Gandham Grahana Devasya Devadayanidhi Gandhadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Upadamala. Malyadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Offer the arati. Yam Dware Mahaghore Andhini Samashmitam Deepadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Next. And Chandan. Shrikhanda Chandanam Divyam Gandhadyam Sumanoharam Chandanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. For the essence. Gandham Grahana Devasya Gandhadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Malyadini Sugandhini Pushpadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Yam Dware Mahaghore Andhini Samashvatam Deepadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Next. Offer the chandan. Shrikhanda Chandanam Divyam Gandhadyam Sumanoharam Chandanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Offer the essence. Gandham Grahana Devasya Gandhadanam Mayadiyati Tavu Patishtatam. Malyadini Sugandhini Malyadini Nivai Prabhu. Minyahan Vai. Yam Dware Mahaghore Andhini Samashmitam. So today the body is adorned and adored by family members and other friends and well-wishers. In this divine send-off that is given to Devan, today we invoke the blessings of Lord Krishna, that that Divine Lord will accompany him on his journey onwards, removing whatever obstacles and impediments that may lie in his journey ahead. He would journey through the 16 cities in Yamlok, and just as Lord Krishna guided Arjuna to victory and success upon the battlefield of Kurukshetra, so too, when we accept him as our guide, as our savior, as our charyata, he also guides us to success here in our journey across his Bhavasagar, as well as in the hereafter. We'll call the parents forward. Well, of course, the parents cannot do his arati, but they can offer a flower and they can pray on his behalf. So both parents, mother and father, give them a flower. As we join together with the parents in praying on behalf of Devan, you know, each parent would want to have a son or a child like Devan, who lives that righteous life, that honorable life, that law-abiding life. Each parent would like to have a child, a son like Devan, who would make them proud. Devan has not only made his parents proud, my dear friends, but the entire community, and by extension, the entire nation. Of course, I'm sure you would have heard earlier of the great accomplishments of this young man, despite, you know, whatever setbacks he's had in life. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, today, when we have various setbacks and so on, people go into depression, people give up on life, and sometimes we have all the faculties intact, we're born healthy, we're born with, you know, all the God-given gifts that Bhagwan gives to us to achieve the greatest in this world, my dear friends. And sometimes with all our faculties and all the gifts that God has given to us, we become depressed and we fail to achieve the fullness of what we can achieve in life. Devan, my dear friends, is a shining example, not just for those who are disadvantaged, not just for those who may be disabled in some way or the other, but my dear friends, for all of us, he's a shining light of what we can achieve when we set our minds to it. And you know, especially in the light of today's society, where we have so many of our young men and young boys losing their way, young people generally losing their way, sometimes because of a lack of guidance. And they are given all the gifts and all the resources that are necessary, my dear friends, to achieve the greatness in life. Yet, our dear friend here, Devan, you know, despite whatever setbacks and so on he has had, has been able to conquer, my dear friends, not just here in Trinidad, but across the world. I'm sure his exploits and victories and so on would have been mentioned earlier, journeying to distant lands like China and other countries, where he has, of course, become victorious and has achieved worldwide acclaim for his endeavors. And so we stand with the parents here this morning. You know, they, in their sadness, are also justifiably proud of the achievements of this young man. And we sing this bhajan as we join together with them in prayer, praying for Lord Krishna's blessings, and also, of course, honoring the patience and the devotion and dedication that they would have shown and devoted to Devan. And I know that that devotion and dedication will continue even after we bid farewell to him today. You alone are our mother, you are our father, you are our brother, and you are a friend. Mother and father are everything to us, and so too is that heavenly Father, that divine Lord, who is our source of support in this world amidst all the turmoil and difficulties and upheaval that we would face. Tumhi ho mata pita, tumhi ho bandhu sakha, tumhi ho mata pita, tumhi ho bandhu sakha, tumhi ho sathi, tumhi sahari, कोई न अपना सेवा तुम्हारी, तुम ही हो साथी, तुम ही सहारी, कोई न अपना सेवा तुम्हारी। तुम ही हो नैया, तुम ही खिवैया, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो। जो खिल सके ना वो फूल हम हैं, तुम्हारी चरणों के धूल हम हैं। जो खिल सके ना वो फूल हम हैं, तुम्हारी चरणों के धूल हम हैं। दया की दृष्टि सदा ही रखना, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो। बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Offer the flower there. There's a saying, there is only one perfect child in this world, and that child belongs to every parent. In this sense, my dear friends, Devan is or was the perfect child. He brought great happiness and joy, not just to his home, to his family, to his parents, but wherever you would have met Devan, in whatever sphere of life you would have met Devan, he would have brought that cheer and joy and happiness to you as well. All right? Thank you. Can you take your seats? So now we would invite other family members and other friends and acquaintances who would want to pay their respects by offering flowers and arati. Now is the time to come forward and pay your respects to the deceased. I will call Randy back to the microphone. If you have any other speakers or other individuals who would like to make an input, you can do so whilst we're going through this part of the ceremony.
Thank you, Pandit. Whilst the ceremonial rites continue, I'd kindly ask the members who would like to lead us in bhajans. I believe Uncle Labri, Uncle Pancham. So just please make your way to the podium so that we can do the bhajans in parallel. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to do one verse of a song. I don't want to take up the time. Nawaji? This song says, a bird locked in a cage, Devan used to act the bird. He actually used to fly, And he said, one must be free. By the meantime, Pancham and Labra will make their way, so they will make some short contribution. Labra will do the song called Mati Kahi Kuhar. Now everybody can sing, so you can sing with me, right? So we'll feel that void. Pinjare ke panchire tera dard न जाने को tera dard न जाने को. For Devan, let me hear all your voice again. Pinjare ke panchire. A little harder. You have to pay no tax for that. Hey, tera dard न जाने को tera. Nice, Subad. कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरे भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे. ओ कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी तेरे भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे, विधि न तेरे कथा लिखी हो, आंसू में कलम दबोए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने को, पिंजरे के पंछी रे library Pancham absent. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, by the time library is coming, oh, he's right here. Devan Babaji was a special, he was a special Olympic, he was an international character, and in his short life he had made an indelible impression in our lives. And it's so nice to hear the past MP, Mr. Govindra, who find his way to be here. This is a very important man. This is the biggest funeral service after the pandemic. Oh, while the pandemic is still going on. Go ahead.
Sitaram, everybody. My dear brothers and sisters, today as we have all gathered here to bid farewell to our dearly beloved who has gone to the great beyond, I too would like, on behalf of my family, to extend to this family our deepest sympathies and condolences on the passing of Devan, and may Almighty God give them the strength and the courage to bear with this great loss. So I'm going to do a bhajan, and the poet says in this song that, "O Lord, please do not let go of my hands, please do not leave my company, for without you, O Lord, I am nothing." प्रभु जी तुम मेरे हाथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो, हाथ न छोड़ो साथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे हाथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो, तेरे बिना कुछ कर नहीं पाऊं, चलते चलते ठोकर खाऊं, तेरे बिना कुछ कर नहीं पाऊं, चलते चलते ठोकर खाऊं, साथ सभी का चाहे छूटे, साथ सभी का चाहे छूटे, तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे हाथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो, हाथ न छोड़ो साथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे हाथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो, सुख आए तो ना इतराऊं, दुख आए तो ना घबराऊं, सुख आए तो ना इतराऊं, दुख आए तो ना घबराऊं, सुख में न भूले दुख में न भूले, सुख में न भूले दुख में न भूले, मुझसे मुख ना मोरो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे हाथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो, हाथ न छोड़ो साथ न छोड़ो, प्रभु जी तुम मेरे हाथ न छोड़ो प्रभु जी, तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो। तू है दयामय, दया की मूरत, मन में बसी है तेरी सूरत। तू है दयामय, दया की मूरत, मन में बसी है तेरी सूरत। मेरे बिगड़ी अब बन जाए, मेरे बिगड़ी अब बन जाए, ये मेरा विश्वास न तोड़ो प्रभु जी, तुम मेरे हाथ न छोड़ो प्रभु जी, तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो। हाथ न छोड़ो, साथ न छोड़ो प्रभु जी, तुम मेरे हाथ न छोड़ो प्रभु जी, तुम मेरे साथ न छोड़ो।
बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय. Each and every one, we have all assembled here for this common purpose, and it is a daily occurrence. Each and every one have to understand what life is and what is taking place in our lives. कौन आया है यहाँ सब काल कहने के लिए? Each and every one of us, suffice it to say, is conditioned, are conditioned by that which is time, bhaiya. Time is of paramount importance. Many kings, many leaders, many aristocrats and educationals, all these people have tried in their best way to curtail that which is death. As the saint says, बड़े बड़े धर्मात्मा हुई, विद्वान हुई, बलवान हुई, पर मौत के पंजे से केवल कोई आके बचा ना रहा. Not a single one of them have been able to curtail that which is mrityu, that which is death. Not one of them. So bhaiya, each and every one of us have to know steadily, relentlessly, uninterruptedly, something is happening to all of us right now. We left home, we said, we tell the beti and the beta, we're coming back just now after the funeral. But how many of us are certain, as the saints say, moment after moment, this thing is happening? How many of us are certain that we will go reach back home? None of us. So in this way, we have to understand what is life and what is death in this world. We have to understand it in this way. So I will ask, I wouldn't be long, Bhaiya, as Bhaiya indicated, but I will ask each and every one of us, every one of you, that whatever is created here in the form of voice, in the form of sounds, in form of singing and chanting, it creates a vibration that does not stay here. It accompanies that goodly soul of Devanji on his heavenly journey. So everybody will join together with me, and I will follow with one bhajan. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sab mil bolo bhaiya. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare. And Devan was such a goodly soul that the last time I recall speaking to him at the wedding of Bhai Vijay, and each and everyone, he say, "Uncle, how you going?" I say, "Sitaram." He say, "Uncle, I don't feel so good. You go pray a little bit for me and sing some nice bhajan in my name." I not knowing that this boy was really so sick. So let us all join. Hey Bhagwan Krishna, the very impossible becomes possible by your grace and mercies. That, O Lord, shower your choicest grace and blessings. Even poison can be turned into nectar. Such is your grace and mercies in this world. Everybody. Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, और कोई न खेवन हारा हो, फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करो, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे, तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे, पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा, पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। राम कृष्ण गोविंद, 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 राम कृष्ण गोविंद। May the cherished infinite grace and blessings of Bhagwan Krishna be showered upon that goodly soul that is about to leave this mortal world and is leaving on his heavenly journey. May the blessings of Bhagwan be Krishna be showered upon the Ma and the Pa and the families of this great soul, to shower them with courage, strength, and the understanding as to what is entailed with all of us. All of us are involved. Bolo Sri Krishna Chandra ki Jai Ho.
Boliye Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So we're very thankful for those two beautiful bhajans. And my dear friends, as you continue to pay your respects to the deceased Devan Mahadeo, as we continue to honor the great contribution that he has made, we understand that we too are part of this journey. He has completed his journey, and you and I, my dear friends, we are in the process of completing ours. One great writer has said the only difference between those of us who are alive and those who have died is that those of us who are alive are just a few footsteps behind those who have died already. My dear friends, what it means, it may take some of us a few years, a few months, a few weeks, who knows, maybe a few days, but eventually we'll all be lying in that same position. Now, apart from his great accomplishments in Special Olympics and so on. We know that Devan was a devotee at heart. He was a devotee of God. And it is this, my dear friends, that distinguishes him really. His selflessness, his love for God, this stands out, my dear friends. And we continue to pray that Supreme Paramatma Krishna Bhagwan would accept him into his divine embrace. Today, O Lord, I stand at your door, that you would accept me and remove all trials and tribulations from my pathway. This is the prayer we offer in Devan's name. सुन ले पुकार आई आज तेरे द्वार लेके आंसुओं की धार मेरे सावरे. At your door, O Lord, I stand. Accept my humble prayer today. सुन ले पुकार आई आज तेरे द्वार लेके आंसुओं की धार मेरे सावरे. बिनती करूं मैं तो से जग के खिवैया डूब न जाए मेरी आशा की नैया. बिनती करूं मैं तो से जग के खिवैया डूब न जाए मेरी आशा की नैया. किसको दिखावो जाके डर में अपना कोई नहीं है मेरी कृष्ण कन्हैया. कृष्ण कन्हैया सुन ले पुकार आई आज तेरे द्वार लेके आंसुओं की धार मेरे सावरे. मैंने प्रभु आज तक कुछ नहीं मांगा. मैंने प्रभु आज तक कुछ नहीं मांगा. आज तू दान दे दे अपनी दया का बदले में चाहे मेरी जान भी ले ले. बच ले सहारा दाता इस दुखिया का इस दुखिया का. सुन ले पुकार आई आज तेरे द्वार लेके आंसुओं की धार मेरे सांवरे. Today, O Lord, darkness has descended upon us, the darkness of distress and despair. It is only your blessings, O Lord Krishna, which shines upon us like that ray of light that can illuminate our pathway and remove this darkness and despair that we experience. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान. आ भटक रहे हम राह दिखा रे भगवन राह दिखा रे. भटक रहे हम राह दिखा रे भगवन राह दिखा रे. कदम कदम पर किरण दिखा रे भगवन किरण दिखा रे. कदम कदम पर किरण दिखा रे भगवन किरण दिखा रे. इन अखियों को प्रभु करारे इन अखियों को प्रभु करारे. ज्योति से पहचान ज्योति से पहचान. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान. हम तो है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी। हम तो है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी। तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी। तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी। दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी, दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी। ऐसा दे वरदान, ऐसा दे वरदान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Blessings of Bhagwan makes the life goals fulfilled. The blessings of Bhagwan makes even the impossible becomes possible, unachievable, unattainable. And certainly, my dear friends, when we look at the wide cross-section of our community, our society, our nation that has turned out to pay their respects to Devan today, we know that he has certainly accomplished his life's mission. This next bhajan says, may the blessings of Bhagwan accompany me wherever I go. Yuga yuga baat niharu re mai, Ram hi Ram pukaru re mai. From yug to yug, from birth to birth, from country to country, from nation to nation, wherever I may go, from village to village, wherever I may go, O Lord, may your blessings accompany me. This we offer in Devan's name as we continue to pray on his behalf. Banvasi more Ram, dhundhan to hi kit jamu. Banvasi more Ram, dhundhan to hi kit jamu. युग युग बात निहारू रे मैं, राम ही राम पुकारू रे मैं। युग युग बात निहारू रे मैं, राम ही राम पुकारू रे मैं। नैनन गंग बहाऊं, अब नैनन गंग बहाऊं रे। बनवासी मोरे राम, ढूंढन तो ही किच जाऊं। बनवासी मोरे राम, ढूंढन तो ही किच जाऊं। रोम रोम को नैन लगाऊं, रोम रोम को नैन लगाऊं। जो मैं तुम्हारे दर्शन पाऊं, जो मैं तुम्हारे दर्शन पाऊं। चरण धूल बन जाऊं, अब चरण धूल बन जाऊं रे। बनवासी मोरे राम, ढूंढन तो ही किच जाऊं। बनवासी मोरे राम, ढूंढन तो ही किच जाऊं। ढूंढन तो ही kit jaun. So having accomplished his life's goal and his life's mission, my dear friends, Devan departs today. It is said, whilst we were yet in the womb of our mothers, the allocation of time, the allotment of time had already been determined. Whether it be 30 years, 40 years, 100 years, that allotment of time has been determined. And whenever that time expires, Bhagwan recalls that Jiva Atma, that soul. Of course, Lord Krishna is the Paramatma, the source of all atmic energies. And he has blessed you and I with that individualized soul or Jiva Atma. When he commands that soul to return to him, of course, death occurs. As this bhajan says, Ay meri Atma, come to me, O soul. Ab chal kar le milan. It is time for us to meet again. Jyoti bindu Paramatma se, Ay meri Atma, ab chal kar le milan. Ab chal kar le milan. Ab chal kar le milan. परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू, परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू, धन्य बना जीवन. ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से, ऐ मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन. अब चल कर ले मिलन. अब चल कर ले मिलन. प्रभु की प्राप्त का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण. ये आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे, तू सारा जीवन. हो देख प्रभु तेरे निकट बिराजे. हो देख प्रभु तेरे निकट बिराजे. कर ले अभिवादन. ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से, ऐ मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन. अब चल कर ले मिलन. अब चल कर ले मिलन. ज्योति बिंदु से प्रेम सिंधु ने चल आज नहा ले. परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बन कर तू शुभ वर पाले. हो किरण किरण को निरख नयन से. हो किरण किरण को निरख नयन से. हो जा मन में मगन. ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से, ऐ मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन. अब चल कर ले मिलन. अब चल कर ले मिलन. When Bhagwan says, ab chal kar le milan, he says, come to me, O soul, it is time for us to meet again. That statement implies that we were previously with Bhagwan in his heavenly abode. The bhajan says, He Jagat Pita Bhagavan, Hamero Gyan, Tu Ishwar Pyara, Duniya mein ek sahara. That divine Lord is Jagat Pita, he is universal Father. He has sent us into this world for a short period of time. And my dear friends, one day our time would also expire. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जात है सारा इसका, कौन ठिकाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. So one day our time too would expire, and then that statement he makes, Abachal Karale Milan, come, it is time for us to meet again, my dear friends, and of course signaling that time when we would be reunited with that Supreme Lord, that Supreme Paramatma, Krishna Bhagwan. This is what we pray for on behalf of Devan this morning, my dear friends. And of course, everything comes back to him here this morning, that Bhagwan's divine blessings would accompany him in his journey. In this world, we have many companions, many friends, but at the time of that Marne ke samay, even the most beloved cannot accompany us into the afterworld. But that blessings of the Supreme Lord remains with us and makes that journey tolerable, my dear friends, and pleasant in the afterworld. It is said at the end of the first month after death, the Pret arrives in the city of Saumyapur. Now, as you know, there are 16 cities in Yamlok. The first city is called Saumyapur, and this is described as a very beautiful place. You know, sometimes people become fearful, afraid of what to encounter in the afterworld. I want to tell you, my dear friends, the only thing we have to be afraid of is ourselves and our own actions, our own karma. So Saumyapur is a beautiful place. There is a beautiful river called the Pushpabhad River that flows through the middle of that city. On both banks of the river are lined many fig trees and peepal trees and so on, which are sacred to Lord Krishna. And here the Pret, the deceased, is asked to rest for some time, where he receives the monthly offering of Pinda and Tilanjali that is made on the new moon. Having received these offerings, he journeys to other parts of the cities, where he notices others just like him traveling through that city of Saumyapur. Some are being treated very nicely, VIP treatment, special treatment. Others are being beaten and tortured. What is accountable for the difference in treatment? Even before we arrive in Yamlok, my dear friends, our karmic report book has arrived before us. And it is this karmic report book that will be used to determine which treatment is given to us, good or bad. And who determines what goes into the karmic report book? We ourselves, my dear friends. Every day we are making entries. We are dictating to Chitragupt, the divine recorders, what to enter into that karmic report book. Obviously, when we live a good life, as our dear friend Devan has done, my dear friends, there is nothing to be afraid of. However, when we perform bad karma, my dear friends, then as we say, we must be afraid of ourselves, our own lifestyle and behavior, and our own actions. But Bhagavan has only rewards for those who have lived that honorable life, that dharmic life, that virtuous life, the life of seva, of service, not just to ourselves and to our families, but to the community. And of course, Devan is one who would have exemplified this. And I'm sure you would hear in the eulogy that we would have in a short while. But the bhajan I was going to sing, whilst we're alive, we have many companions, many friends and acquaintances. But despite, my dear friends, all the support and friends that we have, at that final moment, no one accompanies us, only our karma. The good karma makes that journey onward very pleasant and tolerable. And the bad karma, my dear friends, just as in this world whilst we're alive, the bad karma makes our journey very torturous and very difficult. Sukh ke sab saathi, dukh mein na koi. Sukh ke sab saathi, dukh mein na koi. Mere Ram, tera naam ik saacha, दूजा न कोई सुख के सब साथी दुख में न कोई, ना कुछ तेरा ना कुछ मेरा, हाँ, ना कुछ तेरा ना कुछ मेरा, ये जग जोगी वाला फेरा, राजा हो या रंक सभी का, राजा हो या रंक सभी का, अंत में एक सहोई, सुख के सब साथी दुख में न कोई, मेरे राम तेरा नाम एक साचा दूजा न कोई, जीवन आनी जानी छाया, जीवन आनी जानी छाया, झूठी माया झूठी काया, फिर काहे को सारी उमरिया, फिर काहे को सारी उमरिया, पाप की घटरी ढोई, सुख के सब साथी दुख में न कोई, मेरे राम तेरा नाम एक साचा दूजा न कोई, बाहर की तू माती फाके, बाहर की तू माती फाके, मन के भीतर क्यों ना झाके, उछले तन पर मान किया, उछले तन पर मान किया, और मन की मैल न धोई, सुख के सब साथी दुख में न कोई, मेरे राम तेरा नाम एक साचा दूजा न कोई, सुख के सब साथी दुख में न कोई. It says, ना कुछ तेरा ना कुछ मेरा. Nothing in this world belongs to you or to me. Not even this body belongs to us. Because as we know, my dear friends, this body is cast aside at the time of death. It is placed upon the pyre and burnt away to ashes and returned to the five elements. What we take along with us is not the material wealth and riches of this world, but we take along our karma. And sure, the karma is good, my dear friends, so that journey onwards would be good. So at this point in time, I'll call back Randy to the microphone, who will introduce the eulogy.
Before we begin with theology, there is one special presentation for Auntie Raji and Uncle Kuku. So I'll just ask them to stand to accept this special award on behalf of the national hockey team. They'll be making their way to the front in order to do this award. This would have been the last activity Devan was involved in just prior to falling ill.
Mine, my family, friends. Me and your son very close, very, very close.
Pleasant good morning. On behalf of the floorball team, That was the last activity or training Devan had did with us, right, for a year and a half. And we did this to cheer him on because we was going to visit him on Tuesday. And today we just say this is fitting to present you, the family, of what Devan, did for Special Olympics, Trinidad and Tobago and International. So on behalf of the floorball team of Trinidad and Tobago Special Olympics, appreciation, a token, a love from all of us. Thank you.
We thank the national team for making this award to Devan's family to honor him as part of his love for sports and his affiliation with the Special Olympic team in Trinidad and Tobago. In the spirit of time, I will move on to the eulogy. I am honored to have been asked to read this eulogy, but at the same time, I ask your forgiveness because no amount of words could aptly do justice for Devan. Lord Krishna says to Arjun, every creature in this universe is subject to rebirth, O Arjun, except the one who is united with me. Devan Mahadeo had quite a few home names, as we call it. He was known as Reds, Redman, Red Machine, among the few. I had such a lengthy list speaking with his relatives and friends. It's too much to put in today. He was born on June 11th, 1985. And for those of you who knows the horoscope calendar, he was a very passionate Gemini. He was born to parents Rampasad Mahadeo. We all fondly call him Uncle Kuku. And Paramraji Mahadeo. Again, we fondly call her Auntie Raji. Arriving 1 year after his elder brother, Naresh, or Nari as we call him. At birth, Devan was diagnosed with something that's very difficult to pronounce, so I'll try it. It's harlequin ichthyosis, and it is a rare genetic disorder that results in an overly thicker skin. Living with this condition, although painful and difficult, he had to be even stronger, as this world can be particularly cruel with harsh judgments, fear, and lack of understanding. But his parents loved him, and they protected him from the negativity of this world. And if you all know Auntie Raji, don't say anything bad about her Devan. His mother showered him with an abundance of love care, and kindness. His father guided him to be brave. He would go on to make all of his trials into triumphs. During his baby and toddler years, his parents sought many medical treatments in the hope that he would recover from this medical condition and live a healthy life. Little did they know at that time that their little boy would live a life so full of light, joy, love, and godliness that few of us can compare. Who knew back then that he would become a role model in this world, someone who is dearest to all of us in our hearts? At age 7, Devan was accepted into the Lady Ho Choi School in Pinal. There he went under the tutelage of 2 very passionate teachers. One we heard earlier, Mr. Russell, and the other, Miss Indrani. Mr. Russell was unsure of his sporting capabilities, given his medical condition. And as he mentioned, at first he gave Devan a chance of 5 minutes in the hot sun. To his surprise, Devan performed exceptionally well. And so he increasingly tested Devan, exposing him to longer time limits in the sun, and he realized Devan's love for sports. During those development years, Devan progressed into professional athletics through the Special Olympics of Trinidad and Tobago, visiting St. Kitts Nevis as his first regional games where he represented in the field of football. Through the years, he continued to excel and prove his worthiness, representing our country internationally in Ireland, China, South Korea, Austria, and the United States, to name a few countries, in the areas of football, cricket, floorball, floor hockey, and bocce. Devan was one of the most fortunate persons to have carried the Olympic torch as a representative of Trinidad and Tobago. Who else do we know that carried an Olympic torch here in our small, humble community? He was a true ambassador and a patriot. He ascended to the position of team captain for football, bringing home the Olympic gold medal for Trinidad and Tobago. He eventually transitioned to assistant coach for floor hockey, and as we were told recently, he was nominated as the Special Olympics Trinidad and Tobago representative on the first Caribbean Athletic Leadership Council, where he was responsible for sport management. All of this, who would have thought our simple, humble Devan did in an international arena? Switching to the personal side of Devan, the person who touched the hearts of every person he met, forming an everlasting bond. Once in a lifetime, you meet a great soul, genuine and with a pure heart. Age, race, religion, gender, none of it mattered to Devan. He respected everyone. As a son, Devan was the famous personal chauffeur to Auntie Raji. Wherever you see Auntie Raji, Devan was present. Auntie Raji only had to echo a want, and Devan tried his utmost best to make it a reality. Even recently, as he started facing his health challenges, his foremost thought was not for himself and the pain he was going through, but for his parents and how they will cope. As a brother, growing up with Nari, Devan was the mischief helper, as Nari quotes. With Nari leading, of course, Nari was his role model and instigator of his young adventures. This brotherly love grew stronger through his 37-year lifetime. Whenever Uncle Cuckoo went to hunt and Auntie Raji decided to close down the kitchen, Nari and Devan used to collude and force the poor lady to continue cooking food every day. As a Bluebirds representative and passionate executive, Devan made a permanent and irreplaceable contribution to the Bluebirds Sports and Cultural Organization. He grew up as a young child being part of Bluebirds activities, with fond memories of cutting yagna decorations, back in the day when you had kite paper and stencil, and attaching those on the string using flour and water. Through the years, Devan's responsibilities expanded to every thinkable role. There is no other Bluebirds member who has covered such a variety of roles like Devan. He was the strategic interior decorator, the glue and staple gun specialist, stock taker, building overseer, and designated pressure washer for any activity. In other words, he was Mr. Get It Done. Not only was he part of the preparation, he was also present for every activity. Monthly satsangs, yagna, Ram Leela, Christmas treat, and sporting activity under the Bluebirds banner. On a serious note, he also held the position of youth officer for a number of years, which was mutually aligned with his ever-expanding sporting pursuits. He recently held the position of trustee, being given the custodianship of all of the organization's assets. That's the amount of trust we had in Devan. Devan was one of the headline acts in the Bluebirds' annual flagship Ram Leela celebrations. He knew the full script inside out, and if anybody forgotten their lines, he'd be whispering it to them in their ear while on the field. His key roles included the first flying Jatayu in Trinidad and Tobago, Inderjeet, Sampati, young Rawan. Who could ever forget that laughter and excitement when Devan played young Rawan on the stage? If you needed any extra in any of the other roles, he would fill in too. He would never say no. He was also commander-in-chief of the annual Diwali Nagar nightly cleanup crew, as mentioned. He was dependable and volunteered wholeheartedly with his now famous mop bucket that we will forever remember as Pancho. He showed no fear or bias for any job. Clean, messy, hard, easy. He was the go-to guy whenever you needed something done in the organization. He also lived a balanced life, something that's very difficult to achieve given the demands of life today, building numerous friendships through all of his affiliations. And just seeing the crowd here today and everyone paying their respects is testimony to that. He created a permanent impression of positivity wherever he went, always wearing a smile or that childish grin that we've come to associate with Devan. He was equally excited to do temple hopping as he was for a good cookout lime. He was a work hard, pray hard, play harder type of guy. He was remembered as the head stormer of weddings and wakes in the community. At the weddings, he led the Congo line dancing. His wake tradition was always a new pack of cards. Outside of his professional athletics, He was a passionate pool player. He was in the GPR football crew by the farm, being the groundsman and organizer for those activities. He was in the Mango Tree Cricket League in Pancham Trace. He was head fishing expedition planner and camp cookout executive chef. He took pride in his ability to curry anything. In most instances, by the time he was finished currying, his friends were too intoxicated to appreciate his efforts, which displeased him greatly, and he would let them know about it. He would play outdoor games until, and I quote, he looked like a burnt-up bake, some of his friends said. Only a few days ago, his mom found out that he even tried riding a motorbike. Thank you, Ardash. Something she never liked. He never held back and wanted to experience everything life had to offer. It was like he knew life would be short, but he made it sweet. To get the crew going on a Friday evening, his famous text was, and I want everybody to chorus in, "What we gonna do?" And as a greeting, when they actually met, it was, "Woya." His birthday tradition included Malta with the boys and the hardest bakery drops ever. No Rocky Day was missed, and a child's chocolate was his go-to gift for all of his adopted sisters. Lightheartedness aside, those moments will live on as the greatest treasured memories in the hearts of everyone who were part of it. I'd like to share a personal experience with Devan, and it is through the eyes of my little son. And that highlights just some of the characteristics in Devan, given his daily experience with everyone. Because it is an experience most of us would have had with him, or with others interacting with Devan. My son would have been about 3 or 4 years old at the time. And of course, during COVID, he would have not known a lot of persons because he only interacted with the close-knit family. Coming out of lockdown, you know Auntie Raji coming to visit, right? And of course, as I said, personal chauffeur, Mr. Devan. So Devan started to come to my home. The first few times my son saw Devan, in his little mind, he could not process the outward appearance differences he saw with Devan. And so he was afraid, and he used to hide and cry. Devan, being Devan, the caring person that we know, understood that my son was afraid, and he used to walk away or distance himself. I saw that, and I'm sure it must have broke his heart having that as the first reaction from most people he met for the first time. But he never let that stop him from being one of the most caring person I know. A lot of persons would have hardened their heart and said, you know what, forget it. Not Devan. Devan understood that persons needed time and space for them to understand, and so he gave my son some time and space. But Devan, being Devan, the Devan that we love, was also persistent in creating relationships with everyone. And so the next few times he visited, he started initiating conversations with my son and kicking any loose football he saw in the yard to attract him and draw him out. Soon, my son, like most of us, no longer saw Devan's outward appearance difference and started to learn that Devan was a fun, loving person. He was the one who would have liked to kick the ball and do monkey tricks for my son. And as the visits went on, everyone understood, including my son, that this was only love and fun. they became so close that when Devan visited, my son would run outside energetically, whether he had clothes, whether he was eating, watching his favorite YouTube. And that is evidence of most of our relationships with Devan. When Devan come home to any one of our homes, everyone knew warmth and laughter was here. Devan gave effortlessly, and in turn, he was loved by everyone who took the chance to know him. He touched the lives of everyone in a way that is indescribable. He gave his heart unconditionally, and without us even realizing, everyone in turn gave a piece of their heart to Devan. Today, he's taking those pieces as he leaves this world. My personal prayer, and everyone else's here today, is, Lord, may you grant Devan moksha, as he's lived a life like no other. During these last 3 months, Devan had a critical 17-hour surgery. And after coming out of this surgery, he shared a message with everyone that he loved. This was recently circulated, and there's no better way to end this eulogy than to share Devan's own words with you. His words were titled Thankful, and it goes like this. Emotions and tears is something I have never shown much. I have learned how to keep it inside with my faith and belief. The strength my mind possesses to make others and myself happy in this world, because being strong is all I know. But my mind could not comprehend the physical and mental pain and discomfort my body was in. I could have lost my presence in this world. My mind traumatized by the wind of a touch, the ripping pain from my flesh. The tears and emotions came out unbearingly for my betterment. The loneliness I felt sometimes looking at the clock for 27 days of stillness my body had to endure with the sunshine of hope on my left side and seeing pain and death on my right. I had to strengthen my mind for those I cared about. I pray for those 17 hours hands that removed the sickness from me, allowing me to take a few more breaths in this world. I express my deepest gratitude and love to my family and my friends who have helped me to stand again. I love you. Signed, Devan Mahadeo. Jai Shri Krishna.
And thank you, Randy, for the eulogy. From that, you will get a clear picture of the very colorful life that Devan would have lived, and the tremendous impact that he would have had upon not just his family, but people across the wider community and across the international community as well. I want to say to Devan's parents and Devan's family and to all of us that the true Devan, the true nature of Devan is still with us. Lord Krishna had asked, the question to Arjuna, who are you, O Arjuna? Are you this physical body or are you the soul? टूट गई है माला मोती बिखर चले दो दिन रह कर साथ जाने किधर चले. The true you and the true I, my dear friends, is not what we are looking at. The true Devan is not what you are looking at lying before you, but that soul, that Jiva Atma. It is unborn. Lord Krishna says in the pages of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, you cannot wet it, you cannot burn it, you cannot destroy it. It is completely, totally unalterable. That soul, Bhagavan Krishna goes on to say, what completes its journey may attain moksha, mukti, to attain Bhagavan's heavenly abode in Vaikuntha Lok, or may re-enter into this avagaman, this cycle of birth and death, and be amongst us once more. All of this, my dear friends, is determined whilst we are alive by the type of life we live and the karma that we perform. I invite you to stand now. I invite the 7 boys to reassemble on the side of the body. Give them flowers. We join together in the final Ashirvad, the benediction and blessings that we pray for on behalf of Devan here today. Stand on one side now. We chant a few chaupai from Ramayana. You just heard that Devan was a great exponent of Ram Leela. I think it is only appropriate as we end off our ceremony here this morning, we chant a few chaupai from Ramayana, praying for the blessings of Bhagwan to be bestowed upon him. O Rama, bhajo Rama, Ram Ram kaho baram bara. O Rama, bhajo Rama, Chakra Sudarsana Hai Rakhwara. O Rama, bhajo Rama, Prabhisi Nagar ki jai sab kaja. O Rama, bhajo Rama, Hirdaya Rakhi Kusalpur Raja. O Rama, bhajo Rama. And what it says in this chaupai, with the blessings of Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra, we will be able to climb the steepest of mountain. The great Mount Sumeru appears like a grain of dust in our hands. We'll be able to cross the deepest of ocean. The deepest of ocean becomes like a pool of water, a puddle of water in our pathway. The fire has no impact upon you. The poison has no impact upon you. No matter, notwithstanding what obstacle may present itself on our pathway, Bhagwan's blessings enables us to surmount and to overcome such difficulties and obstacles. This we pray in the name of Devan as he journeys forward into Yamloka. Garala Sudhari Pu Karayamitai. O Rama, bhajo Rama, Gopar Sindhu Analasithalai. O Rama, bhajo Rama. And finally we bless him with the happiness of Bhagwan Sri Ram. Mangala Bhavana Amangala Hari. O Rama, bhajo Rama, Drabavo Sodasarath Ajira Bihari. O Rama, bhajo Rama. O Rama, bhajo Rama. O Rama, bhajo Rama. We bow our heads now in this final prayer. Annadhino dhana Vishnu Sankachakra Garadharang Aparo Pundari Kakshang Rakshatvang Sarvato Disah. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, जय जय सीताराम. Offer the flowers. So we'll leave a few moments for the final viewing of the body as we make preparations for departure to Mosquito Creek Reclamation route. Alright, so we pass in through Barakpur, Papuri Road, onto the M2, and then of course onto the Mosquito Creek Reclamation.
मेरी जिंदगी सवारी मुझको गले लगा के बैठा दिया फलक पे मुझे खाक से उठा के। मेरी जिंदगी सवारी मुझको गले लगा के बैठा दिया फलक पे मुझे खाक से उठा के। यारा तेरी यारी को मैंने तो खुदा माना, याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना। तेरे जैसा यार कहाँ ऐसा याराना। मेरे दिल की ये दुआ है कभी दूर तू न जाए, तेरे बिना हो जीना वो दिल कभी न आए। मेरे दिल की ये दुआ है कभी दूर तू न जाए, तेरे बिना हो जीना वो दिल कभी न आए। तेरे संग जीना यहाँ, तेरे संग मर जाना, याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना। तेरे जैसा यार कहाँ ऐसा याराना।
कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पितु मात स्वामी सखा हमारे, पितु मात स्वामी सखा हमारे। नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ठाकुर हमारे प्राणों से प्यारे, तुम हो हमारे हम हैं तुम्हारे। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। गैया चरैया माखन चुरैया, गैया चरैया माखन चुरैया। दीनों
नाराज नहीं जिंदगी हैरान नहीं वो हैरान तेरे मासूम सवाल ओ परेशान हो गए तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं वीर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं वीर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् याद आएंगे उनको कभी ना कभी याद आएंगे उनको कभी ना कभी कृष्ण दर्शन तो देंगे कभी ना कभी कृष्ण दर्शन तो देंगे कभी ना कभी अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् रामनारायणं जानकी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् वीर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की।
गले में वैजंती माला बजावे मुरली मधुर बाला श्रवण में कुंडल झलकाला नंद के आनंद नंद लाला गगन सम अंग कांति काली राधिका चमक रही लाली रतन में थाड़े बनमाली
matches? A lighter, please, anybody? Matches, a lighter? Thank you for the smoking. Anybody got a lighter, matches? Okay.
Matches to work at home. Lovely country, but that's it.
Kanta.
Yamdari Mahagori and Dini Samasmitam, Deepadanam, Mayadiyate, Patishkatam.
Oh, sorry. The next collab went nasty.
You have a link? Crystal?
Ram Satya Hai. Ram Satya Hai. Ram Satya Hai. From here to the fire, going on the shoulder. Going on the shoulder. Final managing, right? just put it one side, so. Stand up on one side. Put it one side, so. So we offer final bhajan while the body is being prepared to be placed into the fire. Jai Krishna Hare Sri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Sri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. जब चार तरफ दियारा आशा का किनारा जब चार तरफ दियारा आशा का किनारा और कोई रखे मनहारा ये तुम्ही तेरा पास करो जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा Same box, so just now we go. Alright, so we offer a final prayer now before the body is placed into the fire. Put your hands together, please sound. Om Asato Ma Sardamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirdamaya Mrityurma Amritam Damaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Boliye Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Jai Satya Sanatan Dharma Jai. Taking up the body now, what do we put? Take it up. That's all. Cash. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Take the chariot to mix it up to do the havan. Being on the main in front, let us go on. Lighter. Take that chariot. Who are the lighter? Lighter. Lighter. Like you want lighter? Yeah. Give somebody a match. I'm not so much over away. Why have you played the car? Follow it. Swaha. तुलसी माताय नमः स्वाहा तुलसी माताय नमः स्वाहा प्रजापतये नमः स्वाहा इंद्राय नमः स्वाहा सोमाय नमः स्वाहा शिरोपादेवताय नमः स्वाहा दस्तिपादेवताय नमः स्वाहा पूर्वदेवताय नमः स्वाहा प्रजापतये नमः स्वाहा चंद्रदेवाय नमः स्वाहा श्री यमराजाय नमः स्वाहा श्री धर्मराजाय नमः स्वाहा चित्रगुप्ताय नमः स्वाहा प्रीताय स्वाहा प्रीताय स्वाहा प्रीभूमिकाय स्वाहा प्रीतये स्वाहा भया पितृदेवानां महादेवनाय नमः स्वाहा सर्वदेवताय नमः स्वाहा सर्वदेवताय नमः स्वाहा On the side, kita back to our table right now. Hey, now listen.
Space to walk. Because I can't watch back here, so let's watch how I walk in here.
Push him from the chest. Leave it on the chest. Come. You take out the flag from the dress already? Right, send the boy for it now. Yeah. What the flag from the other side? Hey, take out the flowers from the
Thank you.